seen the best of them, jammed up. 25 to life and they can't stop. Never met a man that they can't talk. We're talking on.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions as they take on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in riding high. Just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point. But, boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Orchestrating the offense, the former 3-time captain at Michigan State, quarterback Kirk Cousins.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. First down, here's Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
Stephon Diggs had 8 touchdowns in the regular season. And then when it came to the postseason, a huge one in the playoffs. They'll be remembered forever, especially in Minnesota. Also helped to actually overshadow what a really nice year he had. Can catch the ball underneath and also take the top off of a defense with his speed.
Those are the numbers from Rudolph from last week's game. 5 catches, 63 yards.
And he was able to pull that last pass in, but he's going to face a tall order here because he's going up against the number 2 unit in the NFL against the pass.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On the defensive side of the ball, here are the starters for Detroit. They enter this one 18th in the NFL in stopping the run.
This is an area of the game that they definitely have to improve because right now, against the pass, top 10 in the league. But against the run, that's where the struggles have come in. Got to find a way to make sure they stop runners before they get started.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Off the play fake, Cousins. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. Back deep for the Lions, it's Golden Tate. On the return, it's Tate. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Out of the gun, Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And we look now at the Lions offense.
One way I really judge a player's value is when opponents know what your strengths are, yet they still can't take that away. That tells me you're a heck of a player. For Theo Riddick, everyone knows about his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, yet he's still the primary target for Matthew Stafford on just about any passing situation.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. This is the newest member of the Lion backfield, LeGarrette Blount. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. On to tackle that time, it's Trey Waynes. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They were very good last week in the win over the Saints.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you can tell by this team, all right? Anytime you can tell your offense, hey, just get us a couple touchdowns. We got this thing locked down. That's when you know you're playing well and you're carrying your team along.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. This one complete to Theo Riddick. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And that one good for 16 yards and a 1st.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
23 yards on the play. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr. Now look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked #1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And he locates Luke Wilson. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And this belongs to the Vikings.
We'll give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And they're not going to get a playoff here as time will expire on this first quarter. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out. Play action now. Cousins. That's caught by Treadwell. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. Gonna let it fly for... And that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he was able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
And the challenge pays dividends. The ref overturns the play.
Everyone gets a bonus on this one, Brandon. The coach upstairs who says signaled down and said challenge it, and the head coach for pulling the red flag.
On the ground, it's Cook. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Hey, flipper. Hey, we're good.
Cook. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
And his throw here is incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
On the carry, it's Cook. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Throwing is Cousins. Steps away. Throw left side complete. That's Morgan. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
The give to the fullback on the dive. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call. Two minutes remain in a scoreless first half. More from Minneapolis after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Cousins, he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Now they'll run. Murray calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. He got halfway home there, down to the 1, but a good job of keeping him out of the end zone.
Exactly. Halfway home isn't all the way home, right? So they feel pretty good about keeping him out on that play.
They'll run for it. This is Murray. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Latavius Murray, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating what we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it culminates with a Latavius Murray touchdown run. Carlson now to kick this one away. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we can put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series. But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, You'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Second and 10, Stafford again. It's complete to Golden Tate. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. On first down, it's Stafford. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the 50, Stafford. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Jones. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Stafford on first down. And finding the tight end, Wilson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Stafford now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Throwing again at Stafford. Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins. The left side caught by Diggs. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones in a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tease Tabor. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Stafford. Over the middle, complete to Tate. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. Final play of the half, Cousins. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this one is incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL. We are officially into the second half of the season. We'll begin by jetting up to Orchard Park. Buffalo hosting visiting Chicago from the NFC. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. From there, it's off to North Carolina to check on the Panthers at home in Charlotte. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Christian McCaffrey has a touchdown there. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie. See what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And they trail the visiting Chiefs in that one. Patrick Mahomes looking good. 2 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in our game, just the lone touchdown accounting for all the scoring. A tight one, 7-0 is the score. And for the call of the second half, we send it back to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
They go play action here on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And it's second down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get the game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
This is Riddick on the screen. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's third down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Emerson Griffin. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On third down, Cousins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Cousins now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Now a run with Cook, and he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They run it again with Cook. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 4 catches now on this drive alone. They can't stop him. It's another 1st down. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, though, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line. But let's go back to what you talked about before. Getting his feet down. Would you say dotting the I? I can cross the
Now he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Latavius Murray, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it culminates with a Latavius Murray touchdown run. Carlson now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to...
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And this belongs to the Vikings.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, Never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back them up 5.
Let's go.
Cook following the penalty. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Carlson able to put this one through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Stafford got his man complete over the middle. That's Tate, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he would end up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Out to the right here to Wilson. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Again, it's Stafford. get there and bring him down. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Stafford. And yes, he found Toilolo. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is
that he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Finds Roberts left side. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To throw on 3rd down, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 1st down, Stafford here. He hits Riddick underneath. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Stafford looks to throw again. This is caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They come out here in the eye. On the give, this is their fullback. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. It's the fullback, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Throwing here, Cousins. He's got his man on the crossing route. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. As they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll take this one down to the 36. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A handoff. It's Murray. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's Sylvester Williams there to bring him down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
The linebacker, Christian Jones, there to make the stop. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe to get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Vikings, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Detroit, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.